welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch our video podcast. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family, hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the return of the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-daddling a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about the GOP trying to suppress the vote. And then we're going to be talking about some things that I found on Twitter that I thought was funny. Maybe you will too. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. We back.
Welcome back.
You murked that intro, brother. You did great. That was a great job. One take,
Bruce. That's sometimes I'm all right at this. Almost.
Man, I've been going through it.
Okay.
I just gotta vent a little bit.
Okay, go ahead. Let's vent.
You know, I got this puppy by accident. Well, I got this puppy because I opened my big mouth and I said, "Oh, I would love to have a puppy." Mm-hmm. And then our cousin brought me a puppy.
Right.
I'm going through it. Okay. Let's start over.
No, you don't have to start over. Just keep going.
I just wanted to turn the fan off. So I got this puppy by accident, okay? Because I opened my big mouth, and I said, "Oh, I would love to have a puppy," not thinking it through. And then our cousin got me a puppy. So now I have this 7-month-old, and I feel like he's in his terrible twos.
It could sound about right, yeah.
I mean, I get it. Okay, he's a puppy. He's gonna get into everything. But there's nothing that I can do to correct him to stop him from getting into stuff. Like I came home from the trip back home for your birthday and for our mom's birthday and for the 4th of July. Came back home and there was ants in my house, okay?
Okay,
now it happens. This is summertime and I live in the woods. And even though I clean my house before I leave because I hate coming home to a dirty house, there was ants. So I get the little ant traps, right?
Okay.
Put the ant traps on the floor. He keeps going for the ant traps.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I've put the ant trap under his nose and said no and booped his nose. I've tried. Nothing stops him from sneaking behind my back, going back to get it. I guess I wasn't moving fast enough for him one day. And he jumps up on the bed in the guest room and pees right in the middle of the bed.
Huh. Which room?
My office. So I had to steam clean the mattress. Okay.
Which one is the office? I thought your office is in your room.
It was because our brother was staying in my office.
Yeah, okay. So that room was your office. Okay, got it.
That's where I work now. I work out of that room now. So I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know. He's got to start obedience training. And he's in the basement right now and he's barking his head off. I've done everything. I fed him. We went outside. We played together for an hour and a half. There's nothing he needs right now except to be in the same room. Honestly, as Roscoe really don't care about me too much. He just wants to be in the same room as Roni, who is, of course, being lovely and quiet and is just chilling. But I've been going through it. It's literally this whole week. I just been going through it. And I'm just like, do I need 2 dogs? Like it's pushed me to that point. And I love Roscoe.
Right.
That's my little Bookie Boo. Okay.
Right.
If you Black, you know, when we start giving names like Bookie Boo, Pumpkin Pie, like that's somebody that's close to our heart. Okay. And I thought today for a quick second, And then I pushed the thought out of my mind. Do I need to rehome him? No, girl. Just send him to obedience school. It's time. It's time.
Well,
Because
I saw him on the 4th, and I have a firmer hand than you do when it comes to discipline
yes.
dogs. Not, ladies and gentlemen, I don't be hitting dogs, but
No.
I have a firmer hand. Like, I was holding him down. One, I'm a lot stronger than you, so I can hold him down. And
Yeah.
it took almost all of my strength to hold him down because he did
Yeah.
not want to be held down, and that dog is strong.
Yes.
But I put him down. I was like, hey, man, chill, sit next to me. And he did it for a little while, but he's just energetic right now. The thing that got me crazy is that he's already been snipped. That means that he's going to be like this for the next 4 years.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
Oh, then that's it. I thought he was snipped.
Oh, no, because I was still on the fence about whether or not I wanted to. They don't call it fixing anymore. They call it altering. So what?
Time out. I'm not a person that is like, why is everybody on this PC stuff? But come on now, why are we changing the name of fixing dogs? Why is it now altering?
Because the dog doesn't need to be fixed because they're not broken.
Well, what do they do
They're
when
being altered?
Well, what do they do when men get fixed?
Y'all are getting fixed.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Roscoe's a ball of energy, and you about to start grad school. I mean,
it's going, yeah, he's got to go. And like go to one away, like not no in-home, you come once a week for an hour. No, I need to send him to somebody's ranch for 2, 3, 4 weeks and let them do something about this because you don't have no manners.
What I'm tripping off of is your house is not small, and he is in the basement, and you are in your room, and I can hear him right now.
Yes.
How?
His bark is insanely loud. And so I can't get any rest. Like between him and then as soon as I get him calmed down, here comes Roni.
Yeah, because she
and
needed her
she's
attention
whining
too.
about something. And I'm just like, I can't get no rest. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is parenthood.
Yep. Yeah.
Because the
kids
door
and
to the
dogs are the
basement
same.
is closed. The door to my room closed. And I can still loudly
I can
and
hear him.
clearly
Hopefully,
hear him.
Hopefully the audience won't hear him. Hopefully I can clean it up in post-production. But if y'all hear it, that's Roscoe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
We sitting
that's
here
Roscoe.
giving you a show under duress.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do because he's just acting out. Like he's testing me and my patience. And I'm trying to gentle parent this dog, but I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy. So that's what I've been going through this past week. I don't know if he just got spoiled going up, going back home to Maryland and visiting everybody. I don't know if he just got spoiled or I don't know what the problem is. But my man's is gonna bark through this whole entire show.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're dealing with today. But we're still gonna give you this show. It might be quick. It might not be the full hour but we got some stuff that we definitely want to get into.
Yes.
Jay, I'm going to leave this truly for the last segment, but to really get in depth. But it's hot as hell outside.
Yes.
I can't take it. I went for a walk on Friday and almost died.
Yeah. And do you know, like, DC heat index wise is one of the hottest places in the country right now?
Well, because I'm living in hell.
Hotter than Atlanta.
Well, because
I'm living hell.
Yeah, I'm living in hell. NATO was here, and the city was basically shut down, traffic everywhere. You can't get around. Okay.
Right.
The election is 4 months away. Things are starting to gear
right
up.
around the corner.
And I can't stand this area. So this is just where we at with things right now.
I mean, I saw on Instagram, it literally showed the temperatures across the country. And I'm like, damn, it's hotter up there than here in hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like the temperature down here is actually okay. Like it's like the 80s, low 90s. Like it's actually okay. We had a little breeze
Got
come
a
through
little breeze
today.
going.
There's a little bit of humidity, not as bad as when I was home last week. That humidity, as soon as I stepped out, first of all, I could chew the air. That's how humid it was.
Yeah.
Like I could take a bite out of the air and I would be chewing something. Okay. Soon as you hit the outside, beads of sweat rain down. Down your face.
Yep. All the way down.
From the top of your head.
Yeah.
Up under your chin. It is unconscionable.
We'll get into more of that in the third segment, but I gotta tell a story. So my birthday was last week. I already talked on the Tuesday episode about how I realized I'm 44 now. Like it's like I'm here.
Yes.
But I typically love it when people cancel plans on me.
It's my favorite thing.
My favorite thing in the world. However, this was the one time where I wasn't excited about it, but I understood it. And then when I thought about it, was like, yeah, I'm okay with this. So my bestie was in Europe for a week, traveling, going to Paris, London. She went to the AC/DC concert in London. And
very fun. Okay.
Yeah, because she's still celebrating her 40th.
Nice.
So she come.
It was 3 years ago.
No, it went 3 years ago. It was 3 months ago. So she takes a picture of her going to a gym working out in London on Friday. We're supposed to be hanging out on Saturday. I text her, hey, are you still in London? Yeah, but I'm coming back tonight at 9 p.m.? Yeah. Are you flying into DCA? No, you're not flying into DCA. It's an international flight. You're flying into Dulles. So Dulles to DC is not a quick trip, ladies and gentlemen. That's like an hour. If there's traffic, an hour and a half. And she's arriving at 9 p.m. And I said, okay, well, I could push things back. Will 3:30 work for you? Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. I was like, okay. And I do want to see my bestie, right? Like I do.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think this is a quick turnaround for you. I didn't realize that you was coming back the day before that we were hanging out. If I had known that, I would have said, let's do it in another weekend. We don't have to. No, I want to celebrate your birthday with you. I was like, okay. She wakes up the next day, walks to the grocery store, throws up, calls me, said I was trying to soldier through, but I threw up. I was like, yes, that means you need to sit your ass down and rest
somewhere and be quiet. Yes.
It was like I was fine until the heat. I was like, yes, the heat ain't no joke. And then when I thought about it, because I had just come back from the gym, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get me. Harris Teeter makes some of the best pizza. Like when they put it in their pizza oven, it's dope. Okay. So I was like,
I've never had Harris Teeter pizza. That's
a thing? Okay, so not every Harris Teeter has a pizza oven. The one that's right up the road for me is, that special brand. It's one of those test brands because they just built it. So they have like the whole area is like the hot food area is almost like Wegmans. It's almost better than Wegmans. Almost.
Okay. Now that's saying something because Wegmans.
I said almost because Wegmans food area you can really get down.
Literally the best. Yeah.
So I went there, and Harris Teeter is a block and a half away from me. And as I was walking, I said, God damn it, it's hot as hell. And as I'm walking with the pizza in my hand, I'm kind of jogging because I want to get out of this sun so badly. And I didn't go outside for the rest of the weekend.
No, there's really no reason. There's really no reason. Yeah.
You died twice.
You can. Yeah. You can.
People have. People are dying out here.
Yes. Heat stroke is real. Y'all, if you're outside and you're like, it's hot, you're sweating profusely, and then suddenly you stop sweating, you need to get yourself inside and get some water because that's heat stroke.
That's heat stroke. we gonna get into what's giving me heat stroke besides the heat, and it's GOP because it got my blood boiling. But we gotta pay some bills, and we gotta try and do something with Roscoe. If we can't, then we can't. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but Roscoe is in his terrible sevens.
He's killing me.
He ain't letting us do it. But we'll
And
be
I know
back.
somebody gonna get in the comments with some training tips and all this other. Don't listen. I'm telling you, he's different from every other. Nothing works on this boy. Nothing.
When I saw him running around the house at mom's house, I was like, oh, crypto died and was reincarnated in Roscoe.
I get that vibe from him so much. Yes,
because
so much.
I was like, oh, you ball energy. I know this. This is never gonna die. It's
No, I have
not
a
gonna
feeling he
end.
will always be this way. Yeah.
It'll always be that way. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get into GOP next. So Jay, the GOP is at it again. They just passed the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act, or SAVE Act for short.
Yeah.
This bill, proposed by Republicans in the House of Representatives, it aims to combat voter fraud by requiring states to verify the citizenships of all voters, including those who register to vote using national mail voter registration forms. It also aims to restrict same-day voter registration and voting by mail. Critics argue that the bill is a solution in search of a problem and that it would disproportionately impact minority voters. Now, before I even get in some of the arguments that are for and not, pros and cons, because that's what we do here at Unsolicited Perspectives. We give you the full picture. Well, yeah, because we try to be journalists.
I'm going to give you pro my side.
I know you are.
Shut up.
But I'm gonna give both arguments. But before I do, your initial thoughts of this new legislation.
Well, so what are they going to do with the people that they determine are undocumented?
Oh, they're going to deport them. It isn't explicitly stated in this legislation, but yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they're not going to just leave that information alone. Okay, we all know
but undocumented people can't vote in an election anyway.
Right. So again, this is another instance. You said it, and I'm gonna take it a step further, where they come up with an acronym, and then they come up with a name to fit the acronym, and then they come up with an act, which is, just like you said, searching for a problem where there is none. Because undocumented folks are not voting. There's just no evidence of that. There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And any evidence that we have found of people voting more than once, guess who they were?
Who were they?
Republicans.
Yes. That's what isn't getting spoken on Fox, OAN, Newsmax, is that the majority of cases where there was voter fraud, the majority of cases, not saying that there weren't cases of people who would have voted for, who did vote for Democrats, weren't, because there was cases on both sides. But the majority of the cases were people that were trying to vote on a Republican ticket.
And just let's be clear. It's like I said, this is not a widespread issue.
I'm gonna get to that later, but it is nowhere close to widespread. It's not a widespread
issue. And so this act does nothing but target low-income folks, blue-collar folks. You're not giving them the people who can't take the day off work, or not given the day off work. You're not giving them an option to just do mail-in ballots. Folks in the military who are deployed.
Okay, so folks in the military, there's no way in hell they're going to cut off that mail-in, that ability to mail in. Of course, they're not out here supporting veterans like they say they do.
Exactly.
Or active military like they say they do. So it's all that's what they say. oh, we support the military. What they support is the continued funding and building of weapons and machinery, not
Mhm.
the actual soldiers. But
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
But a majority of the people that it's going to affect are Black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point.
Yeah,
Just like any voter regulations that
she
they
put
come
that
up
in
with. And I
quotation
did
for
heavy
those that
air
are,
quotes
yeah,
with a
heavy air
lot
quotes.
of sass on my face.
It was a whole lot of sass.
Okay. Anytime that they do these kind of voter regulations, the target is always Black and brown people, low income folks, blue collar folks. That's the target. And
Yeah.
that's who is going to be adversely affected by this. Just like the you need an ID to vote. Like
Well, I
you
mean,
have to.
you should need an ID to vote.
No, it's I think that they were requiring.
Oh, I'm gonna get into that. So
Okay.
let's talk about some of the arguments for the SAVE Act that are for the reason why they're saying that they're doing this. Okay, to prevent voter fraud. Okay, supporters of the bill argue that by requiring states to verify the citizenship of voters, it helps prevent voter fraud and ensures that only eligible citizens are voting in elections. Here's the problem. Non-citizens are already prohibited from voting in U.S. elections, and making a false claim of citizenship or unlawful voting in elections can result in removal from the country. This law is already in place. So once again,
and nobody is
how are they
risking their status in this country to vote
for Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Nobody. No, they're here. They want to be here. They're actively avoiding being deported. Well, I'm not going to say they're all actively avoiding being deported, but they don't want to be deported. If they're undocumented, they want to be here.
Right.
So they're not going to do anything to risk them being here. Let
me tell you something. Anybody living in America got to want to be here. Okay. So listen, the only thing is you just gotta want it. But like, because nobody is going to risk being removed from the country by voting in an election. They're just not going to do it. And it's already on the books. And so what are you doing?
It's already on the books. And yeah, so what are you doing? And I'm going to get into some of the cons against it, but I'm still going to stick with the pros. All right.
Okay.
They're also passing this legislation to maintain election integrity. Proponents suggest that ensuring the integrity of the voting process is crucial for maintaining public trust in the electoral system, and the SAVE Act helps achieve this goal. Here's the problem. Trump and House Republicans have accused people entering the country illegally or replacing American citizens in a voting booth. This is a far-right replacement conspiracy theory. It's not happening. Trump's false claims that elections are rigged against him. Here's a thing that a lot of people that are voting for Trump. Yeah, he's a punk Trump. For Trump,
I thought it was shrimp Trump.
It was all of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one of the things that people that say that agree with Trump, that says the election is rigged against him. He never says it's rigged against anybody else. I have not seen him say that the elections have been rigged against anybody else but him.
Right.
All elections that he's been a part of had been rigged against him. Nobody else. Okay. All right. But this argument that he's saying that the elections have been rigged against him has led to an anti-immigration platform based around the idea that Democrat officials are allowing millions of people to flood into this country illegally. That Democrats just want all the people crossing the border illegally so that they can vote for Joe Biden and the Democratic ticket.
And they're taking black jobs.
They're taking black jobs, ladies and gentlemen. Did you find out what a black job is?
I still don't know.
I still don't know either what a black job is.
A couple people said it's whoever did the body. That's a black job.
So explain to them what doing the body means.
Oh, at a funeral, putting the makeup on and all, getting them dressed and stuff. Yeah. Who did the body?
Right.
That's a black job.
That's a black job, supposedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what black jobs are, but
Trump said that they're taking black jobs.
Mm-hmm.
He's for black people. In April, with Speaker Johnson right by his ass, Trump claimed we have an election problem and demanded that the U.S.-Mexican border be closed. He stated millions and millions are pouring in that no one's reporting. He said some are terrorists. They're coming from jails and prisons. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums.
No,
they come from all over the world. None of this is true, ladies and gentlemen.
They come from all over the world, but we're closing the U.S.-Mexico border.
So I will say that there have been reports that some terrorists are using the border as a way of getting into the country, the U.S.-Mexican border.
They don't need to. They can fly in. It's not difficult.
I don't know. If you're trying to sneak into the country, I think it would be easier to sneak into the country from the Canadian border right now. That would be what I would think. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not easy to get into Canada.
I don't think it's as easy anymore post-COVID, but yeah, it's not millions and millions. There's no evidence that they're terrorists. There's no evidence they're coming from jails and prisons. Or if you just look at the people who are crossing at the border, it's primarily women, children, and young men who are looking for work. And
now, can there be criminals trying to cross the border? Absolutely.
Yeah, but there's also criminals trying to cross the border the other way. Listen,
right?
I mean, hey, okay. So you can take that ride down to Mexico, or you can show up, to the jail on Monday. What you gonna do? Like, I mean, the way he is characterizing Latinos primarily is always directed at Mexico, but there is Central and South Americans from all over.
Yeah, it's all of the Central and South Americans. It's not just Mexicans crossing the border. But he does say Latinos. I'll give him that. He's going across the board. He says Latinos.
Yeah.
Crossing the border from insane asylums.
From insane asylums. I mean, it's
mental institutions and insane asylums.
I mean, the man's an idiot.
Yeah, well, okay.
But here's the problem. He speaks with such authority that people report it as if it's the truth, and it's just not the truth.
Well,
it's not the truth.
Well, it's not the truth, but I'm not going to get into it. It's not the truth. But the final reason, or one of the final reasons why people are for this SAVES Act is because they are saying it's protecting democracy. Some supporters believe that safeguarding voter eligibility is essential for upholding the principles of democracy and ensuring fair and legitimate election outcomes. Elon Musk even commented about this legislation. He suggested...
We want to hear his opinion about this.
Well, he's a person that's got an influential voice. I think I said that right.
Well, because he owns Twitter.
Right. So Elon Musk has even suggested that anyone who voted against the bill should be executed for treason. His exact...
Can he go back to where he came from? Can he just go back to where you're not even American? Can you please just go back?
Those who, he states on his Twitter post, X post, whatever you want to call it, those who oppose this are traitors, all caps, traitors. What is the penalty for traitors again? On
Oh
Truth
my God.
Social, Donald Trump called on all Republicans to pass the measure or go home and cry yourself to sleep. You know
First of
what?
all, they're gonna do both.
Go home and cry themselves to sleep.
And they're also going to vote for it. So they're going to do both. And I
Yeah,
don't
they're
think that it's fair that you should tell them that they can't go home and cry themselves to sleep, because I'm pretty sure they do. They're out here just being horrible, unless
I think a
they
lot of
end up
people go home
sleeping
and cry
well.
themselves to sleep.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I mean,
Yeah.
life out here is rough out here in these streets.
You know, and when you say the people supporting it, it's Elon Musk and a handful of people in the House. That's it. We're not, and some Trump supporters who really don't even understand that all of this is already law.
Yeah, it's already law. Everything that they're doing is redundancy, except for some tweaks. They are doing a few tweaks, and their basic argument everybody believes in. Everybody wants election integrity. We already had that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to make sure that every vote counts and every vote is a real lawful voter. We already have laws to protect all that stuff. So, but anyway, here are arguments against the Saves Act or the Saves Act. Disenfranchisement. Critics argue that the SAVE Act could disenfranchise eligible voters, especially in minority communities, by creating additional barriers to voter registration and participation.
Yes.
So what they were doing, what some of this legislation calls for, is them eliminating same-day registration on voting day and mail-in ballots. Now, the election should be a national holiday. The reason why the election is not a national holiday, and this is reckless speculation, but I feel like I am backed up by the history of this country, is because they specifically don't want certain people to vote. The lower the number of people that vote, the more control they have over who goes into office.
Yes.
So by making it tougher to even register to vote and to actually vote on the day that it is election day, you automatically decrease the numbers of actual voters.
Because what this bill requires is for you in person to have documents that prove you are a U.S. citizen, like your passport or your birth certificate. Who got that just readily available? Oh,
So
let me
my
just go
passport
grab my
expired.
birth certificate.
Right. My passport expired. I don't know where my birth certificate
You
and social
still ain't
security card.
renewed that passport?
Yeah, I still haven't renewed the passport.
You just ain't going nowhere.
I don't have any trips planned anywhere. I'm just going to New Orleans for Halloween. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all want to meet me in person, I'll be in New Orleans for Halloween. Probably shouldn't
Don't
say
ask
that on
for that
air.
on the internet. The hell's wrong with you? Now we got high security. The hell's your problem?
I don't think nobody want to see me in person and catch no static. Let me just put that out there right now. Y'all don't want to catch no static.
He's large, you guys.
from really large.
It's not a good idea.
Another argument against the act: unnecessary restriction. Opponents suggest that the bill is unnecessary restriction that targets specific groups of voters without addressing significant issues of voter fraud, which are already rare. So voter fraud isn't really a thing. And let me tell you how much it's not really a thing. Even the right-wing legal group behind Project 2025. And if you don't know what Project 2025 is, Google it. They got some things that they want to do if Trump is elected. And let me tell you, it is a fascist regime, and you have no idea what if you don't know what it is, you have no idea what's coming down the pike if he's elected. And all these people that are saying, oh, this is just hysteria. I had a friend of mine one time voted for Trump. That's the reason why our friendship is tentative. You know, And when they struck down Roe v. Wade, she was like, "Oh, it won't be overturned," and it was.
Yeah.
And every instance that she says, "Oh, nothing will happen," she's been wrong every single time. So Project 2025. But anyway, this right wing legal
it's hot
group
now will really be in hell.
But this right wing legal group who wrote Project 2025 and plans on upending voting rights and potentially if Trump gets reelected, has even admitted that voter fraud among non-citizens is exceedingly rare. Even they're like, this don't really happen. The Heritage Foundation found just 24 cases involving non-citizens voting between 2003 and 2023. 24 cases in 20 years when more than 600 million votes were cast in a presidential election. According to the Brennan Center for Justice at New York University School of Law, non-citizen voting virtually never happens. When it's 24 cases in 20 years, over 600 million votes, that's when we say virtually never happens. So when these Republicans are saying, hey, they're crossing the border and they're voting, this is not true. This is not true. And even backed by people who are supporting Donald J. Trump. So the people that supporting him are even saying, hey, he ain't really being truthful right here. This is what actually the fact. Okay.
Yeah, because the SAVE Act is not about voting. It's about forcing people to prove their citizenship. And what are they going to do with that information for the people who can't prove their citizenship? And it could just be, you don't know what the documents are.
Because I don't know what my documents are.
I don't know my birth certificate. And how many people is that going to discourage from voting because they don't have a passport and they don't know where their birth certificate is? Now you got to order one and you don't know when it's going to come in. It's going to come in time.
What city was I born in? I don't know.
You don't know?
I think I know, but I'm not sure.
I know the city and the hospital.
No, I don't know either one of those. All right, the last one, the reason why people are, one of the last reasons why there are opponents against this legislation is because of the impact of the voter turnout, which is what I was talking about. They don't want voters to turn out. There are concerns that the SAVE Act, by limiting same-day registration and voting by mail, can reduce voter turnout and make it harder for certain populations to participate in the electoral process. I live in an area where I go to my polling or my voting station. I'm in there max 15 minutes. I'm in, I'm out, right? It might be a little bit more traffic during the morning and the evening. I typically go in the afternoon because my schedule allows me to do that, but I'm in and out because I live in an area where the average income per household is something like $130,000. That's like the minimum.
Yeah.
It's like 130,000. So it's a people around here got money. I'm not saying I got money, but people around here got money, right?
Right.
Now, for those people that live in
money adjacent.
Yeah, money adjacent like a mug.
Yeah.
Now, people that live in less affluent areas, their polling and voting stations, even if they go in the afternoon, is still hours of waiting.
Yeah.
That's on purpose.
Yes.
That's on purpose.
The constant problems that we have down here voting in Georgia, from them putting the wrong paper in the printers, or you go to your polling station and most of the machines don't work. You're waiting for hours in line. They're not even letting us give people water and things like that anymore. That is all a concerted effort to discourage people from voting.
Yes. So, and people are asking, I know people are going to ask, if we already have laws, what are the difference between the laws that we have and this act? And basically, you said it already. This act focused specifically on verifying the citizenship of voters rather than mandating photo identification at polls. It's all about citizenship. And we've already established by the Heritage Foundation and that very powerful legal group that's behind Project 2025, who are not advocates of Joe Biden and the Democratic Party.
No.
They've said this isn't a thing. It's not happening. 24 cases in 20 years with over 600 million different votes for presidential elections. 24 cases. I don't know what the math is on that, because typically I could do math real fast. But when you get to the 600 million, I don't know what that is. I don't know what 24 of 600 million is, but I know
Literally don't know.
and
It's got a exponent on it.
I don't believe so. The
It's
League
like
of Women
2 to
Voters.
the 32nd power.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Well,
I mean,
somebody wasn't
it's
great in math, ladies and gentlemen.
small, tiny percentage. 24 out of 600 million.
Yeah, 24 out of
It's
600 million.
infinitesimal.
Yeah. So the League of Women Voters, who oppose this legislation, basically said that the penalties for the crimes are serious and our laws already bar non-citizens voting and prevent significant illegal registration and voting. False claims about non-citizens voting in federal and state elections are a pretext for undermining our access to vote, and they spread disinformation about voting. This legislation is an attempt to erode voter confidence and undermine election integrity based on lies about who is voting. Think about everything that's happened. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you are a Trump supporter, I just want you to just take this into consideration. Why would Trump be saying all of this? Because if he loses, and he might, he has a built-in excuse and an argument to fight against it. He did it in 2016. He did it in 2020, and he's doing it again in 2024. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, he is only saying it about himself.
Yeah.
There is no voter fraud coming out of his mouth about anybody else.
Right.
It's just him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and Trump supporters, just think about that. You know somebody in your life, and they never take responsibility for the stuff that they do.
Right.
Nothing is ever their fault. We all have people in our life that's like that. Now
Yes.
think about it. Has Donald J. Trump taken responsibility for anything that's gone wrong?
Nah.
Anything?
None.
Or is it always a witch hunt? It's always the people are out to get him. And even the people that work for him are out to get him.
Yeah.
Or-
he can't spell accountability.
Right. That's all I want you to do is take that into consideration and think about it as if it was a loved one and they didn't take accountability. Would you confront them? Would you say, hey, you do some wrong sometimes too? Or would you just keep your mouth shut? Some people keep their mouth shut. We was
Yeah.
raised, we're going to call you out on that. I'm going to tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to tell you who you are.
Yes.
And I am not above reproach. If I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. But that person that never admits that they're wrong, ever,
Right.
that's something to think about. Just
Always
think about it.
always pointing the finger. Luckily for us, right now, the Democrats control the Senate. So it is very unlikely that this will become law. And but the Biden White House strongly opposes the bill. Chances are, if it ever made it to his desk, which I doubt it will, he would likely veto it. So luckily, we have that saving grace, but we might not have that come at the end of the election. So that's why you got to get your ass out and vote.
Something to think about. Message. All right, Jay, I want to get to some of this Twitter stuff that I sent you, but I teased it in the first segment. We got to explain how truly hot it is outside.
Yes.
So there are record-breaking temperatures in many parts of the country that are well above average, well above average. For instance, Death Valley recently hit a dangerous 129 degrees. Las Vegas broke its all-time heat record at 120 degrees. I got a friend who's going to Phoenix this weekend, and they were like, "You think it's hot in DC? Check out what the temperatures are this weekend." It was 120 in Phoenix. The heat wave is affecting nearly the entire nation, with millions of people under heat warnings. The Western U.S. is particularly hit hard, but the East is also experiencing unusually high temperatures. I tell you, because I'm here in DC and I'm dying.
Yeah.
I was going to come outside this summer, but no, I'm not.
Hell no. You ain't going to catch me. I'm not for the streets. Not these hot streets.
I told my bestie, I said, I know we said we was going to be out in the streets this summer, but I'm thinking maybe mid-September is when we can come out in the streets.
Nah, the block is hot for real.
Right. There are extreme health risks. The extreme heat is posing a significant health risks, including heat exhaustion and heat stroke. There have been reports of heat-related deaths, such as a motorcyclist in Death Valley. Dude was riding a bike in Death Valley, died because it was so hot outside.
That's crazy.
Now, some people are going to say, well, the earth is getting older. The sun is getting older. Things are getting hotter. That is the natural progression. And they would be partially right. But scientists are linking this extreme weather to climate change. I know a lot of people out there trying to deny climate change, but it's actually a real thing. The global temperature has been at least 1.5 Celsius warmer than pre-industrial times for over a year, contributing to more frequent and intense heat waves. So what does that mean? Every summer is getting hotter, and this is the coolest summer that we're going to have for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, let me tell you something. You're like, oh, it's only 1.5 degrees Celsius. Listen, hey, that's Celsius. It's not Fahrenheit. You want to know how many degrees Fahrenheit?
You gonna do the conversion?
1.5 degree? Yeah, it's 34.7 degrees Fahrenheit.
Jesus.
So that's the okay. If it's typically 60,
then
we're looking at 94.7. That is a significant jump in temperature.
But that's going from industrial times to now, but that's been a gradual increase over time, over generations. Yeah.
Fuels.
This ain't just a U.S. problem either, by the way. Countries around the world, including Mexico, Saudi Arabia, and India, are experiencing record-breaking heat, leading to severe health and environmental impacts. And that's another thing. These environmental impacts are going to create more intense storms. There's going to be droughts and water scarcity. There's going to be more wildfires, and there's going to be unpredictable weather.
Yeah.
Because that's how weather works. When it gets too hot, things counterbalance, and then crazy stuff happens. When it gets too cold, you got to counterbalance, and crazy stuff happens.
Listen, the earth is always going to be fine. Okay, it's burned up, it's frozen over, it's been hit by meteor. The earth is going to regenerate and repair itself, and it's going to be fine. Now, will the things on the surface of the earth be fine? No, we will not. And that is the problem. We not going to be good. The earth will repair itself. It has for billions of years. It will continue to do so. We not going to survive it.
No, we not.
And I'm not sure, don't quote me on this. I'm sure somebody in the comments will get me on this. But I believe we've already crossed the threshold of like this point of no return, where even if we start making changes to improve our relationship with climate and the impact that we're having on our environment, it's still not going to be enough to reverse what's happened. We've already crossed over the what's the thing? It's not the threshold. There's another word for it. I can't remember it, but I think that we've already crossed that point where obviously if we commit to improving our relationship with the environment, right? If we commit to that, we can change the outcome for some of these long-term effects, but it's not going to be enough to reverse what's happened.
Yeah, basically, we could slow it down maybe,
Yeah.
but we're not going to reverse it. So yeah, that's the heat, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's hot in the streets. You know what else is hot in the streets?
Crossing the Rubicon.
Okay, crossing the
That's
Rubicon.
what I was trying to think of. But
You know what else is hot in the streets? Did you get a chance to look at that video that I sent you on Twitter?
I did.
All right, so we're going to talk. Which one do you want to talk about first? The hug or the pickup?
Because I saw the one, I saw the video with the pickup a couple weeks ago, and I had a lot of thoughts on it then, and I still got thoughts on it now.
All right, so I can't play the video for y'all, so I'm going to do, a scene breakdown.
Okay.
This woman is waiting to get picked up from her job by her boyfriend. Her boyfriend is 2 hours late in her car.
In her car.
He also has his boy with him, and the car reeks of dank. That's weed.
Mm-hmm.
She confronts him. Why are you late? He starts to get an attitude. She says, get on out my car.
Yeah.
She kicks him out the car, says you can walk home because you're 2 hours late. She gets in the car, car's on E. So not only did he pick her up 2 hours late, the car is also on E. She blocks him. He's calling like, hey, what you doing? This is crazy. Why you acting crazy? She was like, no, this is ridiculous. Oh, by the way, this was not the first time this has happened. She's just had enough. So I saw this and I was like, normally my man code wants me to defend the man, but there was nothing that I could defend him on because he was in the wrong and he caught an attitude and being confronted by it.
Yeah.
She didn't kick him out initially. It was because he caught the attitude.
Right. Now, if you had shown up, there'd been a little contrition. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm running late coming to get you. Also, I didn't have, the money to put, gas in the car. Like if you had come on the humble, but no, you trying to show off in front of your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like you run stuff and you run nothing.
He was a straight up Jody from Baby Boy in the first act.
And will be the same one that will sit across from you and look you dead in the eye, ask you what you bring to the table. Why? So you can take it. Huh? Why? Because you want to sit at my table? Because your table don't have nothing but a pack of Takis and a flat Sprite?
What's Takis?
You know them little stupid hot corn chip.
Oh, I don't
really
those.
even know what these are, but
the
fact that they stain your fingers and stain
so do Cheetos.
Mouth, yeah, that's not good.
No, Cheetos are the greatest. We're not going to detour. Yeah, and I'm not going to let you say anything blasphemous about Cheetos. But let's move on. Because my man was probably eating some Cheetos in her car. I guarantee you there were some hot Cheetos stains in her car.
Takis, wrap snacks.
And my boy was probably eating hot fries. If y'all don't know what hot fries are, it's not French fries. It's a chip. It's the hot fries. There's no other way that I can explain it.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah,
I really
it's hot fries. So you said, so what else do you have about this whole video? Because I'm upset that you said you saw it weeks ago and he didn't even tell me about it.
Because it was so ridiculous. Because first of all, you ain't got but one time to do this in my car.
Well, 2 hours, 2 hours late.
2 hours. I let you take the car,
Mm-hmm.
but you knew the condition was that you come and get me when I'm off work.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't go to work. If you showing up, picking me up, gas tank on E means you've been riding around and getting it
all day.
all day. Okay. And you wasn't doing Uber or delivering for Amazon, nothing like that, because you got your homeboy with you. Y'all smell like
But
tree.
he couldn't. Well, having a few
He
Uber.
won't working, because if he was, he would have put some gas in that car. And the thing of it is, I think she says in the video, the tank was on E. I put gas in the car and you come back with tank on E.
Yeah, she did say that in the video. Yeah, she did say that in the video.
People are wondering why this 4B movement is getting so much traction.
What is 4B?
So the 4B movement it started in South Korea,
Okay.
and it basically is women refusing to heterosexual marriage, women refusing to date men or have their children or any of them because they're so terrible.
Mm.
The reason that these things are gaining traction is because baby girl realized in that moment, this man does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
He can't even pick me up on time from work in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Get the hell up out of my car. You, your friend, y'all got to figure it out.
Because think about it. She just got off work and she wasted 2 hours. And you know that she got to go home, cook, relax the little bit of time that she got left to relax.
Yeah.
Turn around, go to sleep, and wake up and do the next day all over again. Her whole evening is basically shot. If you get off of work at 5 and you don't get picked up until 7, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about your evening for the rest of the night?
It's done. It's over. And now I'm aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about it to whoever will listen, which is making me more aggravated. That's it. My evening is ruined. You've ruined it. I could have gone home, set up a lovely evening for myself, and you have ruined it. And there are so many women that I feel like are catching on to the fact that their boyfriends, husbands, partners are doing nothing for them.
Yeah, the days of us just sitting back and chilling is over.
Yeah, and
now there are some women that will still tolerate that,
right.
and don't mind it. I tolerate wasn't the right word. Tolerate could be the right word in certain situations, but not mind a guy like that because maybe he's a provider, or that would probably be it. He's probably a provider.
Right. Yeah, there's a difference if you're a trad wife because your man pays for everything, so you can sit home, look pretty, cook, clean, take care of the kids.
Trad wife would be short for traditional wife, ladies and gentlemen. You do that a lot. You use these terms, and even I'd be a little confused, and I'm like, oh, that's what she's talking about. And people listening got to be like, what the hell is she talking about? So I have to, take time to explain it to the people sometimes.
I mean, scroll through Twitter for an hour and you'll understand everything that I'm saying. Or scroll through TikTok for an hour, you'll understand.
No, for you it's TikTok. Yeah, for you it's TikTok.
It's definitely TikTok.
I hope they ban TikTok.
No, I need it. There's so many wonderful and creative people on TikTok, and
they're really, but they're also creative on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Reels, but not as much as TikToks.
Okay. Anyway,
you made me lose my train of thought after all of that.
Like people sometimes women want to be the trad wives, and
like that's cool if both of your value systems align and he wants to provide and that's what you want from him, and he wants a housewife and that's what you want for yourself, and it lines up, and that's great. That's great. I don't think that that's what was happening in this situation.
No.
That man was not working. He was in her car.
He could have had a day off. He could. My sister, ladies and gentlemen, if you listening to this, just folded her arms and looked at me like what I said was absolutely stupid. I just said it could be a possibility. He could have been off that day. We don't know what day of the week it was. Maybe she had to work on a Saturday.
And I guarantee it wasn't no day. It wasn't no day. That makes it worse because you're not even contending with like rush hour traffic or anything like that. So you could say, oh man, traffic was terrible because I'm here on a Saturday. So you're not even contending with this. So that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Okay, because you had the day off. You had plenty of time. You wanted my car. Because I know he said, hey, let me drop you off at work so I can have a car. I know it was something like that. Not asking, just telling you what the plan was.
Well, I mean, now we doing a lot of assumptions.
It was I could hear in his demeanor that he's just telling her to chill out and stuff like that and really brushing off a situation where he should have been contrite and apologetic and taking some accountability. But he wanted to show out.
That key word again, accountability.
Yeah, and a lot of y'all can't spell it.
ACCOUNTABILITY?
Correct.
Yes.
I didn't say you specifically, but
well, we know that I'm not a good speller.
That is true. That is true. Neither here nor there. My thing is this. I'm not saying I'm for the 4B movement. Honestly, do whatever makes you feel happy. Like if you're at peace in your life being single and you're not really looking for nothing, like it's okay. Like don't let people pressure you into doing anything that you don't want to do. But for a lot of y'all out there, I saw another TikTok where a guy played a prank on his girlfriend telling her that he wanted to break up. Now, she had 3 kids for him before she was 22, and they've been together, and she is cut off friends and family for this man. And she's saying all this stuff, and now you want to break up? And then he's just like, baby, it's a prank. No, but it's too late because she's already just realized in that moment, I've given up way too much for you. And you might not be worth it because he was constant, baby, it's just a prank. It's just a prank. And she's like, no, don't touch me. Don't talk to me. It was too late. Even if it was a prank, she just realized something. And so I hope that women and men, honestly, because there's some trifling.
And men, because let me tell you something. I've dated a lot of trifling women.
Yes. That's
my specialty.
Facts. Continue to put videos like this out so that, maybe somebody will see it and say to themselves, hey, Brian ass ain't really doing nothing for me. I'm with him because I don't want to be alone.
That's why a lot of people are with people because they don't want to be alone. That's really what that is.
I'm only with her because I don't want to start over again.
Yeah, and who wants to start over again?
Nobody.
I hate first dates.
It literally sucks.
What do you do? Yeah.
I was on Hinge for 36 hours.
We can get into that another time. I don't think we got on into it on the show. I wanted to get into the second post, but we're running out of time. So ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday will be our 150th episode.
Oh my
Jay
gosh,
will be making a slight appearance. So we'll talk about it then, because this is 149th episode. And thank you. But Jay, what do you want to tell the people out here? Oh, Lord.
You're whole without him, sis.
You're on double pack. All right.
You already got it going on, girl. If he not adding to it. Actually, you know what? To hell, this is for everybody.
I was about to say that.
This is for everybody. If they are not adding to your joy, then they gotta go.
And this ain't just for romance. This is for
It's for
any
everybody.
relationship. This is for any type of relationship.
Friends,
family.
Because we got to talk about some of these female friendships that are really your hater in disguise. That's another topic for another time.
We gotta write this down. And hopefully somebody remind us to talk about
I'm gonna
this.
write it on this little piece of paper I got here that I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose immediately.
Okay.
I'm gonna write fake friends. And then I'm gonna come back to this and I'll be like, why did I write down fake friends?
I'll remember.
And I'll never know why. I'll forget to add.
No, yeah, you probably will. Yeah, because you probably will.
And then I'll be like, do Bruce have fake friends?
Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah. You will find sometimes your biggest op is standing right next to you.
Yes, you will. All right.
You're dating.
Oh, God. Yeah, and I know about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Whew, that was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspectives.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you're really feeling genuine and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.